Guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Sophie, and today I'm going to be talking about a subject that is quite important to me and has had quite a significance in my own life, and that is the relationship between eating disorders and dance and how they go hand in hand.
Hey, yo.
I was a dancer for a very long time, and I've also had an eating disorder for a very long time. Both of those things have played a very big role in my life. Now, before we start, I just want to briefly share my own dance background with you, just so you kind of know where I'm coming from. I started dancing when I was about 2 years old. My mom put me in ballet and jazz and tap, and I fell in love with dance very quickly. And I started competing when I was 6 years old, and I danced until I was 16 years old. And I did pretty much every style. I did ballet, point, jazz, lyrical, contemporary, acro, musical theater, modern. I did everything except for hip hop, basically. And I loved it. The reason I actually stopped dancing was not really my choice. I'm not going to get into this really at all because I'm not really ready to talk about it yet. It is something that I want to share one day. I want to share my story one day, but I'm just not at that point in my life yet where I can talk about my experience with this in detail. But I stopped dancing because I was actually diagnosed with cancer at 16. And I went through chemotherapy, and for obvious reasons I had to stop dancing because I was very sick and chemo made me a lot sicker. And I actually lost feeling in my feet, which has gotten better, but it's still not completely there. But my love for dance has never gone away. It still remains, and I miss it so much. Eating disorders, mental illness, very common in the dance world, and I'm going to talk about some reasons why that is the case. Now, perfectionism and eating disorders go hand in hand. As a dancer, you are always faced with a new performance, with another judge, another audition, another exam. There's always something, and there's always some reason for you to be criticized and judged and given corrections. Now, dancers are artists, and their tools are their bodies. As a dancer, you spend hours and hours in a studio, surrounded by full-length mirrors on every wall, surrounded by other dancers who you're comparing yourself to. Not to mention, if you're in ballet, you're wearing tights and a leotard, you're basically naked in front of a mirror, in front of everyone. You're spending all of this time trying to perfect your lines and your movements. And when you're surrounded by lots of other dancers, there's bound to be other dancers who excel in certain areas more than you do. And that can be very challenging to accept, especially when you're a perfectionist. And all of this can very easily turn into a very unhealthy obsession with your body and with the way your body works. I just want to smash a stereotype real quick. There is this very specific body type that is associated with dancers, particularly ballet dancers. The ideal or common or stereotypical body type of a ballerina is tall, very slim with long legs. A lot of people believe that in order to be a great dancer, you need to be skinny, and that is not the case. I have a friend who, when I was a dancer, once told me, "Sophie, I want to be a dancer, but I can't." And I said, why not? And she said, "Because I'm not skinny." So many people want to dance and have a passion for dance and are so good at dance, but they don't pursue it because they don't think that they fit the mold that a dancer should fit. To be a dancer, you need to be strong, and that doesn't mean being skinny. To be a great dancer, you need to be taking care of yourself, and you need to nourish your body and give it the adequate care that it deserves. Because I know from experience, if you're not taking care of yourself and you're pushing your body the way you push your body as a dancer, you make it do things that defy gravity, that defy laws of nature. It's ridiculous what you do as a dancer. And when you're not feeding your body, you're pushing it past its limits and you're not giving it what it needs in return, which means you will crash, you will get injured, and that could potentially end your career as a dancer. I fell behind as a dancer. On my team, I fell behind because I was not taking care of myself. And I think had I been taking care of myself, I could have been a much, much better dancer. As a dancer, in the studio, in competitions, in exams, somebody is always there pointing out your flaws and your mistakes. Your mistakes are the first things to be noticed, and the things that you've done well normally don't get pointed out. Your teachers and judges and examiners want to focus on the things that you can improve, and unfortunately, especially for somebody with low self-esteem, these corrections can be perceived as your body not being good enough or your body being wrong. I know that that was the case for me a lot of the time, but in reality, my teachers were just trying to make me become a better dancer. There is so much pressure being put on you, especially dancing on a team, because you do not want to be the one to mess up. Because when one person is off in a group dance, it throws off the whole group. And I know firsthand how shitty it feels to be the one that throws off the group. I have been that person in competitions to make a mistake. It doesn't go unnoticed. You feel like you screwed over your team. Everyone's human and everybody messes up. There is no such thing as a perfect dancer. Going along with this, at dance competitions and in exams and at auditions, you are being watched and you are being judged solely on the way your body is moving. When you have an eating disorder or when you have low self-esteem and somebody is sitting there for the purpose of judging your body and watching how it moves, that's very scary. You want to be on your A game, you want to be perfect, you do not want to make any mistakes, and that is so stressful. If you're a professional dancer or you're an aspiring professional dancer or you're a competitive dancer, you're spending most of your life in that situation, and that's just constant stress. It often turns into taking it out on yourself and telling yourself you're not good enough and that you need to be better, which telling yourself you need to be better can be a good thing up to a certain point, and then you reach the point of nothing you do is ever good enough. You're always so hard on yourself and you're not happy when you do something well. Something that is a sad reality in the dance world is the fact that teachers and coaches can be cruel. There is a point when criticism just becomes mean and unnecessary. There is constructive criticism and there is tough love, but it can only go to a certain extent and then it just becomes something else entirely. Instead of giving you corrections and coaching you through how you can fix your mistakes and improve, they just insult you or tell you that you're horrible. I know because I've experienced teachers like this, and it's not helpful. It's helpful to receive criticism and to be told what to fix, but when you're being told that you're not good enough or that you're awful, it's no longer helpful and it's counterproductive. I had coaches who I wanted them to correct my dancing and help me with my lines and help me fix things that needed fixing, but instead they commented on things like my weight and my shape and things that were completely irrelevant. I could go on and on about all of the things that make dance stressful and make dancers perfectionists, because there are so many things in the dance world that contribute to poor body image and contribute to people being perfectionists and feeling like they're not good enough. I think I will just leave you with this. If you are a dancer, if you're going to take away anything from this video, or if you're just watching because you're curious, this goes for dancers, but this goes for everyone. To be great at what you do, you need to be taking care of yourself. And yes, push yourself. Yes, strive to do better each time you practice or each time you do whatever you're doing. And know your limits. Know when to take a breather. Remember that there is no such thing as perfect. If you're not looking after yourself, then you are not going to continue to make progress. You're gonna go the other way. And with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I hope it gave you some insight. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you want to see next, because we love to hear from you. We will see you when we see you. Bye guys.